Chair and comrades. I mean, just now, Comrade Segun spoke, and it was just coming to my mind in terms of the deprivation, the grotesque inequality, and the horrid picture that is there in the neo-colonial world. There is a sort of competition. If you look at whether it is Asia, Africa, or Latin America. So I was just some of the figures that he gave, you know, something very, very similar. I mean, 36 rich people who are today considered as the global super rich are Indians, and they enjoy 27% of the India's GDP assets. Their own assets were worth 27%. And at the same time, while India is being painted that there is a super growth, even in these times of economic crisis. I mean, last week when we were at the IEC, there was a figure of 8.9%, which is almost 9% growth in the last quarter. But I mean, those figures do not tell you the real situation in the context of India. I mean, according to the government reports, you know, one of the report furnished by the government in last year, 77% of the population live on not on $2 a day, but less than $half a dollar a day. That is 20 rupees is the earning of 77% of people. That is 900 million people live on that particular earnings. So at the same time, you can, I mean, one can point out to the issue of the kind of the boom that has taken place, or relatively, which is still going on. But yes, the goodies, the white goods, or what we call the consumerist products, consumer products, they are there. That's according to one figure that I saw recently. There are 634 million mobile phones in India. Perhaps that is the second biggest concentration of mobile phones in the world. Yes, the poor people today, the person, the families whose incomes do not suffice for a proper calorie intake in their budget, in their monthly budget, around 7 pounds of monthly budget becomes the mobile phone expense. I mean, whether they like it or not, they are forced into that kind of a consumerist culture where mobile phones have invaded the country in such a... Of course, some people, some of the super middle class or upper middle class feel proud of such a situation. The entire country is a building site. One of my friends from England, he was recently in Delhi. He said, after a long time he had been there, he said, Delhi is a big building site. That's true. Not just Delhi, the entire country, because of the metro invasion, another invasion, metro invasion, the entire country, all the metropolitan cities, what you call our cosmopolitan cities in India, are today feverishly taking this infrastructure building, which is causing a lot of health hazards. In Delhi, 3 out of 10 children, every 10 children has bronchial asthma issues. In Bangalore, where I am based, 7 out of 10 children have got respiratory problems. And this is a country where so-called new inventions that are taking place, you know, the Tata, the global, one of the global rich, boasts that he has brought out the cheapest car for India. I mean, around $1,200. In the next couple of months, Indian middle class or upper middle class can get the cars. But for the ordinary people, to imagine another 25,000, 50,000 or a lakh of cars in their cities and in rural areas It is a mind-boggling, and it's a hell that is going to come further into the hell. So that is the reality. At the same time, it's like vultures hovering around the entire geography of India. Name any multinational, they are there, especially the mining multinationals. You know, we are at the moment the new socialist alternative, that the CWI section in India is part of a struggle that is going on in Orissa. A South Korean steel giant, POSCO, wants to acquire 4,004 acres of land, displacing 10 villages, which comprises 22,000 families. I mean, one of the slogan, those 22 villages say this: please don't develop us to destroy us, because they have their own sustain all these days. Even though in poverty, they were sustaining themselves with the agriculture, with the there is one particular, I mean, some of you who may know the culture in India, that chewing palm, the betel leaves, that particular area has got a special type of betel leaves which is sweet in its taste, because that particular coastal area is of saline less water. So it grows a special type of betel leaves which is in great demand in the West Asia, in Middle East countries. So they were depending on that. They had their own trade, they had their own agriculture, cashew farming, and betel wine. So they were very happy. But now a company has come and it wants to acquire 4,004 acres of land. Not just in that particular area near around 120 kilometers of Bhubaneswar, which is the state capital of Orissa, but the entire Orissa, which was for years, for 50, 60 years, was a neglected state. I mean, I was there a few weeks ago. I mean, some of the villages, you know, one would not imagine. I mean, I come from a country where poverty is very stark, but even I was shocked. I had a culture shock when I went to Orissa. See, the entire, you hire a cycle rickshaw. I mean, maybe it's a bit of a fashion in some of the Western countries now. You hire a cycle rickshaw and you ask him to take you around Bhubaneswar for 8 hours, and he would be very happy if you pay him 25 rupees. That is $50.